Welcome back and thanks for joining us. If you're new to our channel, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified of each new video. In the last video, we installed the Scopema brand swivel seat on the passenger side of our 2019 Ford Transit cargo van. The passenger side was relatively easy to install. In this video, we tackle the driver's side swivel seat. The installation is more complicated because it involves lowering the handbrake, rerouting the airbag sensor cable, and cutting the plastic trim on the driver's side seat. Altogether, it took us about 7 to 8 hours to complete, and it was done over a few days.
Hey, good morning guys. Today is Saturday, October 24th, and today's episode we're installing the swivel seat driver's side. So I see you when I get there. But first, let's fuel up. I think this is the second time we get a full tank of gas on her. And so the van is empty and it lasted us on a full tank 670 kilometers. So, and that's city driving, right? So it's not bad. The other thing is she's still empty, so she's not fully loaded, so she's a little lighter. But city driving, 670 kilometers, I'm happy with that.
Hey guys, this is Dory, and I'm Mena. We travel with our lovely dog Fiona to help you discover the most beautiful spots and to share with you what it's like to live as a nomad. So subscribe and welcome to our channel. Good morning, guys. So today we are installing the driver's side swivel seat, and we didn't do it at the same time as the other seat because we weren't really confident about how to do it. We hadn't seen any videos, so now we've seen 2 videos and we've watched them a ton of times. So we're comfortable now with the installation process. And we have our brother-in-law that's going to help us out. So he's very comfortable working on engines and on vehicles. He trained to be a mechanical engineer, so he's helping us out today. And it's going to be pretty straightforward, but we'll bring you along with us throughout this install so you see how we do it. So the first thing we did was we removed those plastic pieces. So from what I understand, we just pull them up, right?
Yeah, you just pull, it comes right up. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're clipped in.
They clip over here.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy to remove them. And we're going to be getting rid of the top one because it's going to be too tall afterwards. And we're going to be left with the second one. So that's the bracket that came with the Scopema. So this is the kit, quote unquote, driver's side kit. Whether or not we use it is to be determined, but at least we have it.
Yeah.
All right, so the next step is to remove the seat.
Because other this one I can just pick it up. This one I will.
Well, we have to remove.
We have to,
on this side. I think the bolt is on the inside.
yeah, but it's being okay. So we have to remove the battery.
One goes in there.
Yeah.
One the other cross.
But we have to remove the battery and the battery box and the wiring harness because the wiring harness is actually in the way of the bolts.
Okay.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unscrew these.
Sorry.
We already have the tool, and we're going to link that into the description. And so it's bolted down with these 4, well, it's screwed down with these 4 screws, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. So that's our first step.
So this is what X T4 T40.
Yeah.
XT40. Yeah, we had to buy this special tool for this.
Expert on site is Armando. He's a mechanical engineer. So he's going to give us his professional opinion about what we're doing wrong. Perfect.
All right.
I'm gonna hold that while I pull this back. So this is not tied here.
Oh.
We just need to remove this one.
Now we're trying to get to the battery. And yeah, the battery is underneath the seat. However, if you want to boost the van, we do have a positive negative connection near the engine.
Having a little trouble with this one. Okay, there we go. And then finally,
Is that an impact one?
Yes.
That's what I needed for the nuts, the lug nuts.
something we have to be careful for is the vent. So the battery is vented, and we have to remember to uninstall it properly and reinstall it properly. All right, so next we disconnect the battery. Okay. So we have to disconnect the vent cable and remove the battery. Who's going to be the muscle on this one? Oh, Armando. There we go.
It's a little battery.
My question is, how are we going to remove this battery box if this is stuck like that? So we have to figure out how to get this vent thing. Oh, well that was easy. So guys, I was wondering about this vent thing, but it looks like it's not connected anywhere, so that's fine.
Okay. So to breathe down.
Yeah, so we didn't have to unscrew it, so that's perfect.
Okay, so
All right, so next we have to tackle the wiring harness. Okay, so this wiring harness was just pulled off, it was just popped off. It wasn't really secured in any way. Now we are unplugging the handbrake wire sensor.
or if you don't
Yeah,
have
here we
that.
go. I just used my nail and it's done.
Okay.
Done. We were gonna get a screwdriver. I just used my really weak long nail, and that's done. So that's out.
Okay.
So that's done. That was easy enough.
It goes here.
Okay.
Just push the rivet here.
And then we're pulling that suction out, and that's connected to the wire that's connected to the handbrake, and that's the handbrake sensor light wire. These plastic caps here are protecting the wires from these nuts and bolts right here. So we're just going to pop them off. We have to remember to put that back on before we put everything back together. Okay. All right, so now we can access the nuts and bolts. All right, so that's out.
Can you get a 13mm ratchet?
To be able to remove this, we need to remove these 3 nuts, that one, and this one. And it's gonna make accessing this nut over here a hell of a lot easier. And what's the size of this?
This one's a 10.
It's a 10, okay, 10 millimeter.
It's a 10mm too.
This one's also a 10 millimeter. So the 3 nuts for the harness are in here. Okay, so now we could just remove this.
Pull.
Okay. Oh, just gotta be careful. And right, that's out of the way now.
Tools.
All right.
No, now it's
Next step is that we have to remove these 4 nuts so we can remove this plate. So that's our next step.
okay. Let me move the
rather than cut this plate inside the van, we're trying to figure out a way to remove the e-brake and cut that plate outside of the van so we don't get any metal dust or metal shaving. So
There's a way, you gotta study it.
got it.
Okay.
Gotta study it.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
You gotta study it. But now that you scratch it,
A little bit on here, but it's not that visible. Got it?
Yeah.
Nice.
so the way that it works, once you break one, then you can study how it works.
Okay, so
Because
explain
has
how it
three,
works.
It had 3 tops, and we got three
Okay.
tops. So it
So-
goes by pressure.
Okay.
But if you don't want to scratch it, you push it from the
From the back.
back.
Okay, so the first one we kind of pushed and pulled, and then the second one you just pushed it from
From the back.
the back. Okay. So now 1/4 inch to remove these little nuts there. Yeah, wait till all the furniture goes in.
Bottom line is, you'd be surprised how much stuff you need.
But you're not
Or
going
how-
to be putting a toilet in, are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Co-
really?
Composting. Oh, success. All right, partial success. Okay, I see what you're doing. So
This is the brake.
so that has a little groove that it can come out. So that just needs to be coaxed out of that little groove, and then now we have to push those two white parts together with pliers, and that's going to allow it to release from the vehicle. I hope that makes sense to everybody.
Just a minute, I need space.
And it's done. So now we can cut this plate outside.
It goes there, no?
Yeah, so that goes there. And that fits the screws. So this is the diagram that we received from where we bought. It's Travois where we bought it. This is the diagram that they sent to us. And based on the videos that we've seen, kind of makes sense that it fits in like this, and also based on the diagram. And it even shows you kind of where it goes.
So these 2 bolts, okay, this one we obviously have to cut it, right?
Yeah, so yes, we do. We have to cut this nut. Yeah, because that's going to be the hole for one of the screws that came with the kit.
Done. Clean cut too. So this guy, actually see a little bit of the, hopefully when we bang it out, it comes out. And this guy right there. Now we gotta get those guys out. Come on.
So we're gonna have to cut the metal. There's no.
That one up.
Yeah. Because it's not. It's a little bit off from the.
So we had to make the holes bigger on the plate because they're too small. And hopefully that does the trick.
Oh yeah.
Did the trick?
Yep.
Nice.
So we had to grind this hole over here. This one and this one too, no?
This to make it bigger. This one's gonna be there.
like that it fits once we put the protective plates.
Yeah, so this one is gonna go here.
It doesn't fit properly, so we're gonna have to cut that.
Here and here.
The power of editing. We actually needed to cut that plate quite a few times. One of the purpose of this plate is to provide protection to the airbag sensor that is located in the front. The second purpose, it allows you to attach the plastic covers that go around the handbrake. So we're back to the grinding station, and everything that is marked, it's what we're gonna cut. Marked with the black marker. This is just because we want to make sure everything's gonna fit tight. And you know, I mean, we want to put that plastic cover back on, and we need this casing so it snaps back on, but it's kind of hard when you drop the handbrake by an inch at least.
So this is the problem. So it goes like this. So once we clear for this hole, we cut this piece. Now that we go there, but if we want to make a flash, as you can see, it doesn't pass.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to.
So,
got an angle?
Yeah. So we got to cut right around there so it sits nice and straight.
We've marked it, so it will pass. It will be able to go down.
So hopefully this is the last cut we have to do. Let's hope this is the last grinding.
Just in case we left the grinding at the station. Here comes the moment of truth.
Please fit like a glove.
Oh yeah.
Fits like a glove?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Now it's time to push the cable down.
Yep.
Wait.
Oh, I know where the cable is.
See, but when this is pushed down, this rubber moves out of the way, and then you have metal rubbing against metal, which we can't have. So while Armando inside the van was pushing this part down, we had to push this rubber part up so that it would interfere with the metal touching the metal. So you need something in between the two pieces of metal so that they don't rub together. So we were pushing that up at the same time that Armando was pushing the brake cable, which is this, down.
Here we also want to make sure it's not rubbing against the shaft. Right, so this is your shaft right here. So you want to make sure you have clearance, which we do.
Yeah, we do.
Now we're putting the cable back. There it goes. There it is. So now everything is in place. The wire is good underneath. It's not touching the shaft. The rubber is aligned against the frame so it won't get cut. And yeah, everything is fitting. Everything is fitting nicely.
So now afterwards we're gonna have to tighten the brake cable?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this
okay.
is why it has to be cut, because as you can see, the handbrake, it has to go
Okay.
a little bit lower than the
The brassic.
metal. Yeah.
Okay.
So now we just need to tie
that
the.
explains it. Okay.
As
And-
you can see.
So now we just have to tighten everything up.
Yeah.
And this is because we wanted to keep that metal brace in there
Yeah. So
intact,
right
sort
now
of.
we're gonna be able to put all the plastic all around.
Well, the lower one anyway.
The lower
the
one should
lower
be
one.
able to snap, yeah.
Yeah. Everything. So this is why we went for all the trouble. But remember, we have to put the, before we put this, we have to put the, pass the wire. We
Yeah.
need to pass the wire for
Yeah.
the handbrake.
Yeah.
We need to put.
Take your. Wait for. Alright, so this reconnects over here, so that's for the venting.
Then
It's in there. And first we put on the positive.
And then negative.
what was it? 10 millimeter.
If you guys are wondering why we're sniffling, it's because it's freezing. So we're excited to get the car started so we can put the heat on. And then, okay, so this goes here. And then this now?
Yeah, this one. That's when we put the covers.
Okay, so this goes.
Turn on this one. Positive.
Trying to stay positive.
See when we
Okay,
put the
cover.
cover to.
There you go. Oh, man. There we go.
It's a 9 millimeter, so we don't want to do it by hand. So we're going faster with this. Where's the
And the
little
cover? Can we start the car yet?
If you want.
Easy. Sorry, getting my big noggin in there. Keys.
You
Who
have
has
it.
the keys?
But you need to put the.
The what?
Oh, the wire. We have to fix this up first.
Not big,
Underneath?
but this one. We put in the.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, guys, the swivel seat is gonna be another day. At least we lowered the handbrake.
Yeah. Okay, so is this engaged?
There's only one way to put it. So the screw is pulling it down, so it's
Yeah.
all the pins are.
Yeah. Engaging.
Engaging. Just be careful.
When you haven't finished, you have to go downstairs.
Does that mean we're done?
No, you have to tighten the cable underneath.
So I'm adjusting the handbrake so we could put the cable back on, and basically you unscrew this and then you untie this guy, right? So it gives loose. To tighten it, you do the reverse. You screw this guy back in and you keep screwing this back. So anyway, it's pretty simple. So today we're gonna finish the swivel seat. And I think it was last week, we lowered the handbrake, which was a big step, and it took us about 5 hours to do it. And yeah, so today we're gonna finish the swivel base. Hopefully it'll take us less than 2 hours. It is a little bit longer because we're filming, right, and explaining the process, but hopefully within 2 hours it's done. So with the Scopema swivel seat and the handbrake bracket, we're adding 32 pounds.
Pressure's on. Are we gonna get this done in under 2 hours?
2 1/4. Should be easy.
Using a screwdriver this time. With the 7mm bit. So it pops right off. As you can see, I already filed this side down, the pin. The other one is not done, but no, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to...
We're using the T40X bit. And you got 4 screws like that.
And these are the factory provided screws, so we're going to be replacing them with the ones that Van Equip sent us.
All right, now she goes front.
So now this is the back.
So now we're getting set up to cut that pointer.
Now we have magnets, which
Yep.
helps.
We cut the last one. Manda did a great job.
That's heavy.
It's a 30-pounder.
You can do squats with this. That dog just peed right beside Fee's bed. It's so funny. Now she has to smell that all day.
So we're gonna try to tuck this wire on this side because it looks like it's less bulky than over here. So hopefully that does the trick. Just because every time we put the swivel seat down, it's squishing this wire. We didn't have this problem on the passenger seat because there's no battery, so there's nothing like this, right?
Although we already cut it there.
So we actually should be cutting around this area over here.
Although it oddly seems to fit. There we go.
And this is how the battery vents. So this wire here, that goes all the way down there. So this is how it vents. So cutting this box right here doesn't do anything, okay? So everybody's safe.
So we used a hacksaw to cut here, clearly, because we did a bit of a hack job. And then we used wire cutters to cut this little piece here. And the reason why is that it's not big enough to fit this box through. So we needed to be able to do this. Now, okay. I might need another set of hands for this. Okay, so this, we cut a little piece in here so that that could sit right in there. And then this is going like this, like that. And let me just move this plastic piece there. And then finally, like that. Let me just get it in place. So this, we kind of got this idea from Far Out Ride, and I hope that we're doing it correctly. So, okay, so that is on that side. And I mean, worst case scenario, if we want to, we can always silicone this gap. But I don't think it's a problem because the battery is already vented in another area. So this battery box doesn't actually need to be vented because the battery is vented and it wasn't airtight to start with. So I think that should be fine. So we can grab the Scopema swivel seat. And hopefully this will be the final take. Right now I think we're already at, I forgot to start the thing again. I think we're already at 2 hours on this.
So what we did, we cut right through it, made a hole over here to pass the wire through. The other option would have been to make a big hole to pass this casing through. So I think this was
better,
the cleanest job.
Well, we hacked through this.
Well, we had no choice, right?
And then we hacked through this because that's initially where we were going to put it, and we thought that this was the best case scenario because it's not getting as squished as when it was over here.
Yeah. And when we had it over here, it was actually squished around the poles over here, so I wasn't too comfortable with that either.
Yeah, true.
I don't think it would do anything, but again, you never know, right?
I want to take a chance.
So, the verdict...
Yeah, I'm really glad we did that.
Much better.
Yeah.
It's a tight squeeze, but not like before.
Yeah.
Like before was really bad.
And again, this is based on the suggestion in Far Out Ride's post. Now, even though we don't have the dual battery, we were still experiencing the same problem, that this was being squished because it's a super low profile swivel seat. So, I think we're off to the races. We should be done now. So, I would estimate, now we're not done yet, but I would estimate that this took us probably about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because we kind of had to problem solve with this little thing.
And this is the thing with van building. Nothing fits just right. A lot of it you have to, problem solve and pretty much make sure whatever you're doing, you're comfortable with the result and you're not just forcing something in.
It only goes one way, just snaps back on. Okay. Now I think we're ready for the seat. So now we need the bit for this, the ratchet bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't do it too tight, should I?
No, not too tight.
No.
Just-
Oopsie. A little loose.
Just a little loose.
Okay, now we can tighten everything.
Yeah. Show us how to swivel.
Okay, I'm not sure that this is gonna work, but we're gonna try and swivel it with the door closed. No, it hits the door.
It hits the door.
It does, yeah. So. Yay! I'm so excited.
And you have to move because of the steering wheel.
Okay, what's catching now?
Is it the sensor?
No, it's this. It's the handbrake. So, even though we dropped the handbrake, it's still interfering with this plastic piece here. You see? I mean, it was worse when I was sitting on the seat, obviously, because I'm adding weight to it, but the rail there is kind of scraping, and so is this. So we might end up just trimming this little part right here. I mean, does it touch the rail? It does skim the rail, but to be honest, it's mainly this plastic part. So I think we're gonna trim down this plastic part a little bit. And if you could see, that's the bracket that we got with the driver's side swivel. And now since we're here, let's put this back. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now we're gonna swivel with the thing installed. You can't go too far forward. You got to be careful of how forward you go with this guy. The plastic is interfering with the brake.
Yeah, but
So
sitting doesn't help.
For sure sitting doesn't help, but it is the plastic. It's not the rail underneath. The rail clears it. I mean, it rubs just slightly, but it's really this part here, and sitting on it for sure doesn't help. And again, this might be different from your install. Maybe your handbrake lowering will be a little bit lower than ours, but this was what we could do with this bracket that we received from the manufacturer. But as soon as we put on the plastic cover, it was interfering with this rail like in a major way. So I'm cutting into this so that I could lower the handbrake more, so that it's a minimal interference rather than a major interference. And I mean, this thing is already ugly, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to pretty it up. That's gonna be in the finishing of the van. But for now, we need the handbrake to be able to go
All the way down?
All the way down. So we ended up cutting all of this down here too, so this whole portion here, and we're hoping that that's gonna do the trick. Now that I see it, I can feel it, and it's more the plastic than the actual metal part. It's really this corner here. So yeah, it's the plastic. I mean, I'm okay with these scratches here. I can live with it. What we are going to do is we're going to make some kind of decorative trim around the top of this, so you don't see these rough edges here. So let's do this one more time. Now that the brake is all the way down, I'm not going to sit on the seat to add extra weight, right? pull it forward because of the steering wheel. And then you see it's the plastic part. So the Scopema clears it. So the fix for us may be that we trim this plastic piece a little bit. The next day, we ended up returning to the van, used wire cutters to trim the plastic, and sanded it to smooth out the rough edges. Thank you for sticking with us on this video. We're newbies, this is our first time doing anything like this. We hope this helped you in some way, and we'll see you in the next video.